Greetings, leaders. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Leadership Is Podcast. I am your host, Jason Muhammad, founder of JM Leadership Consulting. Today's discussion is the sum of 2 and 4. What does that mean? Let's talk about that today. Hey leaders, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Leadership Is Podcast. Today we want to talk about the sum of 2 and 4. This will be a rarely short podcast. However, it's really an inspirational message that we want to talk about here. The sum of 2 and 4. Brian Tracy, one of the great, leaders of our time here today, one of the greatest, thinkers of our time today, talks about problems, right? And there are 3 ways of how you can look at a problem, how he describes it. The first one is, there's a situation. Situations arise, outside of our thinking, outside of our realm of influence, even sometimes outside of our realm of control. But situations, happen to take place, right? And so the second way of looking at a problem is looking at it like a challenge, right? So it's a challenge here. There's a challenge that's taking place. And so a challenge here, which means that now it's going to bring out of you what it takes to overcome this challenge or this situation, right? Or this problem. It's going to bring out of you, it's challenging you to see what you got. Can you handle it? Can you overcome it, right? So the first 2 ways of looking at a problem is situation and then challenge. But the third way, which is the best way, is what is called an opportunity. It's an opportunity. A problem is, in fact, an opportunity. I've once heard someone say that the difference between a positive person and a negative person is a negative person can have an opportunity, but only see the problem in obtaining that opportunity. But a positive person can actually have a problem and see in that problem an opportunity. So you have to decide, which one are you? Are you a positive person or a negative person, right? So that's what we want to talk about today with the sum of 2 and 4. When you have something that is described as the sum of something, it is when you add up, 2 or more things together, and then the figure that you come up with is the actual, number that is developed based on adding up, the 2 different or 2 or more different things. Also, the word sum gives you the amount of something that you have. So, if leaders would want to increase, right, the amount of output from their employees, if leaders want to increase the amount of money that they're making, if leaders would want to increase the amount of ideal customers that they actually have, then you really have to study the sum of 2 and 4. And we're going to talk about what the sum of 2 and 4 really is here. And so then if you want to, of course, increase your monetary value, you want to really understand and study the sum of 2 and 4. Now that's the amount wise of sum. Then here is, when you add up 2 and 4, you're going to come up with the number 6, right? And so we want to talk about how a leader, right, is how a leader comes up with, or how a leader is determined by the sum of 2 and 4. So first one is 2. We're talking about mindsets here. Carol Dweck wrote a book that talks about the mindsets, right? And she talks about growth mindset and fixed mindset. So growth mindset talks about if a person fails a test, the person still has an opportunity to pass the test or can study to not fail the next test, right? A growth mindset is one like when you have a glass, whether it is, when it's halfway, right? So a growth mindset looks at it as half full. which means that there's still potential to put more water into this glass to fill it up. Negative mindset, or the fixed mindset rather, talks about, they look at the glass, they see the glass as half empty, which means that no more can go into the glass. The glass is almost empty, right? And so if I fail a test, there's no way that I could, I'm just stupid or I'm just dumb. This is how someone with a fixed mindset looks at it. So fixed mindset is human being. Growth mindset is human becoming, right? So there's always room for more. As I've written it in a book that will be published early part of January. I changed it from September to January. It's called 7 Steps to Break the Self-Defeated Mindset. And in there, I talk about the power of not yet, right? The power of not yet. See, not yet's negative intentions is it didn't happen. It's not going to happen. The glass is half empty. But then also the positive part of not yet is, hey, I still have an opportunity to. So it's not the end yet. The glass is half full. That's how people with a growth mindset or positive thinkers look at, their situations, challenges, and opportunities as not yet. I still have an opportunity, right? That's how they look at it. People that look at it from a negative standpoint looks at it from the number 2. See, the number 2 is also the sound value of the word T-O, 2. In other words, when situations, challenges, and opportunities happen to a person with a negative mindset looks at it as if something is happening to them. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? But a person with a growth mindset that sees the glass as half full, that sees the power of not yet as we still have an opportunity, looks at it like the number 4, which has the sound value of the word F-O-R, 4. So a person with a growth mindset is looking at something happening and they're looking at, how is this happening? What is this doing for me? What is this doing for me? Right? What is in this for me? So the sum of 2 and 4, when you add 2 plus 4, it comes up with the number 6. And a leader is the sum of 2 and 4, because a 6-letter word is L-E-A-D-E-R. Leader. A leader is one who can tell the difference or can know the sum between 2 and 4. A leader is one who knows when something is happening to them versus when something is happening for them. What kind of leader are you today? What is your sum of 2 and 4? Take care.